Hello! It's Andy again from the Egocast channel. A couple videos of mine ago, I did a Riley video, and she had said something about climate change, and I had kind of scoffed at it and said that the concerns of... I think what my quote was the concerns of climate change are kind of silly. Something to those effects. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but somebody in the comment section referenced that, and was kind of like, wow, what the fuck. So, I wanted to discuss climate change today. I'm not really a scientist. I don't really... When science starts going into the realms of numbers, that's when I lose interest, because that's when it gets really tough. So, I like more behavioral sciences and kind of stuff like that, the study of people. So, I don't really know a whole lot about, the science sort of thing. I don't science fantastically, but so like the way I kind of see it is that the climate changes. Like, life is cyclical. You're born, you grow up, you die, and then other people are born, they grow up, they die. It's all, I guess that would be more bounding arcs, but whatever. But things tend to come around, and I think that the climate just changes. Have we had a factor into it? Yeah, I would say that we probably have. Has our factor into it been of a destructive nature? I don't know. That's easy to argue in both directions. We're using things that we find on Earth to do things on Earth. It's not like we're creating these wild, weird thing. We're taking crude oil out of the ground and we're refining it into gasoline and then we use it. Like, is it bad? Sure, sinkholes are bad. But, like, sinkholes happen in places where there aren't oil being drilled. So, it's this whole weird thing. But one thing that I would say that I learned a long time ago that still kind of pops into my head whenever we talk about climate change: airplanes. There are so many airplanes up in the sky shifting around the air. It would be, I would think, ludicrous to think that that's not something that would be contributing to it. Not so much the emissions from the plane burning fuel, but just pushing the air around in different ways. I mean, there's so many planes up there flying all the time. To say that that has nothing to do with climate change, I think, is kind of silly. So, thinking of that, I kind of ran across this clip, and I wanted to expose you guys to it. I think that this is man-made climate change, and I would like to, just kind of ponder over it with you.
Jordan is one of the 4 driest countries in the world, and climate change has hit the kingdom's agriculture sector. Farms use more than 65% of its water supply. Jordan is a landlocked country except at its southern border. It has only one river, and its main source of water is rain, but that has been scarce in the past 2 decades. So to gather clouds, the Jordanian government has collaborated with German rainfall technology company WeatherTech. The company has built 4 cloud ionization towers in Jordan to emit icons into the atmosphere to encourage rainfall.
Now, I get the whole thing with drought. That sucks. And it is a part of the climate changing that makes that sort of thing happen. Winters are getting warmer, there's a lot less rainfall, we've had record droughts worldwide. But to force rain in this manner, what are the long-term effects of this? What kind of research was done to look into that? Is this going to be like throwing up 1 million planes flying through the air every day? Is this going to somehow alter weather patterns in that region to where they wind up with floods, torrential downpours constantly? Like, what kind of research has been done into this? Other than crunching numbers. And this is where, I lose out on the science aspect of this, because you got to do those predictive numbers. You got to run the numbers to see what the risks are. And I don't know how to do that, and I don't know how to go about figuring that out, whatever constants or theorems or whatever fuck it is that you need to do this sort of shit with. I don't know. But yeah, it just seems to me like that's weird to do this concentrated focus of shooting ions up into the sky. I don't know. That seems like that has a great possibility of going wildly awry.
We depend on satellite images and radar images to monitor weather conditions and formulate forecasts, so that through this forecast we can determine when we will operate and the way we operate at these locations.
WeatherTech is teaming up with environmental consultancy Al Qudra to implement the project.
Scientifically, there is proof that the quantity of rainfall and its annual average is shrinking. In addition, there is a great demand for water due to immigration in Jordan and the crisis in the area. So the demand has doubled and the sources of water are shrinking, be it groundwater or rainfall. So there is a great need for fresh water.
And that may slowly be met. Between May and July, the company induced rainfall 5 times, and this could almost double by the end of the year.
Okay, how do they prove that? Like, again, comes to the number crunching. How does that get proven? That these towers were instrumental in that much rainfall. Is that good? Is it good to do that? I mean, is this changing a climate structure that the world needs to go through? I don't know. Like, these are troubling questions to me, and I'm not smart enough to figure it out on my own. So, but I think these are serious concerns. What effect is this going to have in other parts of the world? When this wind blows through and gets supercharged with ions, does it just sit there then and just rain in that one area, or are you like seeding these storms that are then going to blow over to other parts of the world and they're going to get this terrible fucking rain, storms? I don't know. How does this work? It's very interesting to me, though.
The technology relies on several factors such as humidity and wind to work properly. And experts believe under the right conditions, rainfall could fully be restored in Jordan.
But should it be? I mean, not to minimize the problems of the people in that region, that sucks that they have no drinkable water. That water is getting scarce. That's so... On a planet that's... the vast majority of it is water, and people are running out of water. Like, it's so odd to me. A solution to that could be, let's desalinate the entirety of the oceans. Let's have desalinators set up on every coastline, and we'll just slowly work the salt out of the ocean. We'll just pull it all right out of there. But then the oceans will die, because all of the animals in the oceans will die because they can't survive in that environment. This kind of seems like the same line of thinking to me. It doesn't rain here anymore. Let's make it rain. What does that do? What are the long-term effects of that? And this is one of those things where people would look at it and go, we're fighting climate change. And I gotta wonder if they're fighting fire with fire. Because when you fight fire with fire, all you get is more fire. Like, is that what they're doing? So, like I said, I'm not really a scientist. I don't really know. But I think it's an interesting question that should be brought up. I'm sure it's been brought up before. I'm sure I'm not the first person to think about this. But, I don't know, maybe there's a wiser mind out there, a more scientific guy. The only guy on YouTube that I watch that does this kind of shit is Thunderfoot. So if he's watching this, and I'll probably, like, kick a link his direction through Twitter or something to see if he watches it. I don't know. But if you watch it, Thunderfoot, fucking... you seem to know more about this kind of shit than I ever will. So, what do you think? Do you think that this is horrible, oh my god, what are they doing type of thing? Like, I'm kind of looking at it? Or is this kind of like, man, it'll all kind of just recorrect itself in this direction and maybe everything will be good? I don't know. It certainly seems very altruistic, but it also seems to me very crazy. So, that's... I don't know. But that is climate change. We are that man-made climate change. We are actively trying to change the climate in a region on the earth. And we're going around saying that's bad. And yet, there it is. Making rain. Yeah, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, the subscribe button, check out my Patreon, and all that sort of thing. And until next time, have a good day, and bye-bye.